The culture menu.
All right. Today's episode 36.
We're not doing the intro. We don't ever do intro. I don't even know what you're doing here.
I'm lost in the
You're
sauce.
lost in the sauce.
I was reading the board. It says episode 36. No, but this is episode 36, yeah?
It's episode 36.
All right, so let's get into it. How's your day been?
Today's been good.
Yeah?
No, but I mean, you know, life goes on.
Yeah.
Anyways, but we got to hang out, so that's always nice.
Yeah, let's see. We haven't recorded together
On video.
on video in like 2 months, 3 months, 2 months.
2.5 months.
I wonder if we look the different or the same to the people.
I don't really.
I don't know either.
But now we're back.
Now we back.
We got
we back.
We got some plans happening. We got
Yeah.
some things jumping off, but
What you been up to? You went on a trip? You went on a trip to the islands.
it was not the island. What are you talking about?
Where'd you go, man?
I stayed in the United States of America.
Oh, where'd you go?
I went to Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
It was fun. I had a good time. And it was just like they were very... Everywhere I went, they asked for my vaccination card. It was very interesting.
Oh, really?
Like now my vaccination card looks all jacked up. I had to carry it so much. But...
Look, at least you putting that vaccine to use.
I guess. I mean... I'm still very cautious. Like I always have a mask on. And
Are you gonna
I always,
forever have one, probably?
do that stuff on my hands. What is it? Hand sanitizer?
Yeah. Are you gonna forever wear a mask, probably? At what point are you gonna be like,
I mean,
okay,
until
no
we
more
have
mask?
answers, we don't have any answers.
What kind of answer would make you stop wearing your mask?
No, I mean it's gonna be a while. Like I'm not in the next 5 years. I don't see it.
Meaning, like you go into public spaces, like grocery stores, wherever public, without a mask.
Like I would be wearing one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, again, unless there's answers, like the flu shot. You know what I'm saying? The flu has a flu shot. We know it's gonna work.
What does
This
the
is
flu
it.
shot do for you exactly?
Oh man, don't play with me. But I'm saying with this whole thing, it's like all just kind of like up in the air. Like
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
I would love for it to just be pill form.
Yeah.
Just
Say you caught COVID, would you still wear a mask after that?
yeah, because I think I did catch COVID. I think, but I think it was before it became this.
Well, no one else got it from you.
Well, I wasn't around anyone. I stayed in the room.
Well, we were around you. Every time we come check on you. Hey, how you doing?
Whatever.
I'm just asking.
Well, it wasn't no flu or nothing.
It was the worst flu you ever had. If it was the flu, huh?
Anyways, so all right, let's jump into something. How was your week, actually? I don't want to be rude. How was
My
your
week? Let's see. Today's Wednesday.
So happy.
No, the week's been cool. The days just fly by.
Yeah.
The days just be flying by. We've talked about it in the episode how
Oh yeah.
time just moves. Time is on my side.
I like your shirt.
Thank you. 15-degree shirt.
Very representative of who you are.
For sure. Oh, Azalea and I were in IKEA a couple weeks ago, and we're in the kitchen section looking for a countertop, and there's a dude. We see a couple, an older couple, kind of in the aisle because we're kind of like, there's main aisles, and you kind of go off into the aisle. There's the main road, and then you kind of walk off the aisle when you want to be in your
Right.
section. So they're still in the aisle. We're in like kind of like off to the side looking at product. But I could see like they're like looking our direction. And I was like, why are they like looking over here? Like, are we in their way? Like, are we blocking the view of something they're trying to see? And so I just kind of take note. And then like a couple seconds later, I'm just talking to the baby. And then the husband comes over and he's like, number 15. He's like, the best number there is. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. And he was like, college, high school quarterback, number 15. He was talking about himself, how he was like reminiscing about, I guess he was a big time college quarterback. And he's like, champions of something. He put his ring up and he's like, number 15. And he's like, you wear it well, man. And I was like, I appreciate it. But then at that point, his wife came over. And then, because Phoenix was looking at them like, yo, what are you doing over here? And the lady could see that. And she's like, oh. And she started talking about the baby for a second. And I'm like, all right, man, have a good one. He's like, number 15.
Number 15.
Number 15. And I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. I've always liked that number. I mean, like once you like brought it up, I was like, oh, I like that number. Like it looks good.
Yeah, 15. It's a solid number. I've looked up like different meanings or significance. The significance of 15.
And what's 15 mean then?
Not a whole lot of interesting things.
All right.
Not a whole lot, but it's a great number for me.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So there's been a lot of nice little stories in the news. We can talk about the ex-CEO of Walmart, or really of the e-commerce side, but how he's building a like Utopia town in the desert for like I don't know how many billion. I think it's like 68 billion.
There's a cap.
That's how much he's.
Oh, that's not much it
on the
costs.
town. Like,
that's how much it costs. I'm thinking
Utopia.
that's how many people can accommodate it.
It's gonna be like either in Appalachia or somewhere else. I can't remember the name of the place.
Oh, so it's whites only?
No, they said it's gonna be the first place where everybody's gonna feel safe, no matter your what's it called, like a class. I mean, I could look at it. Hold on.
Well, shit, yeah, that's super interesting because if it's his place, he's gonna be king.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to follow his rules.
I was like, I yes, I looked at all the stuff.
It's a good idea in theory, but I don't think.
Okay, it says ex-Walmart president building city and desert for 68 billion, I'm sorry. Lord, the president of Walmart, e-commerce and co-founder of Jet.com and Diapers.com, American West Desert Diapers.com. He plans to build this place in either the American West Desert or Appalachia. It says Lore envisions Telosa, that's the name of the Utopia.
Say it again?
That's the name of it, Telosa.
Telosa.
So Telosa. He said having equal access healthcare, excellent schooling, and safe environments for families regardless of income. Even further, he aims for Telosa to be a diverse place housing various races, genders, sexual orientations, religions, and political affiliations. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's California.
That's why I was like, it doesn't really sound much different than what we aim for here. It's
Yeah,
just like we just can't do it.
That's exactly. So I think what he's saying is, if you live by my rules, we can get it done.
And I was like, this does seem like a kind of like
that's
I'm
a slippery
king.
slope there. Because if people are going to buy themselves into being king, well, the thing is, right, you have to, like, why would people want to leave their current existence to exist in your
Take
world?
a whim.
Right. And then you're like, okay, we're going to offer schooling for the kids. So what? So they can work for you?
And can I just
were they
leave
working?
when I'm ready?
That's what I'm saying. Like, am I contractually bound to live in this city?
Yeah, no. He lost
Telosa?
He called it a Utopia. No.
Telosa. That's real close to Tulsa.
He could have just said, I'm creating a new world in the desert. I would have been more okay with that. But to call it a utopia makes me believe he believes that it's even a false world, a false reality, and it's not going to happen the way.
I think that he should have said, I'm building a city.
Whereas girls going wild.
Yeah. I'm building a city. If you want to come and join the cult.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's going to cost you this much to move here, but once you move here, you'll slowly be reimbursed for all your fees.
I just don't feel like someone's gonna just allow you to leave.
I think you can. Or
what if
they're like, you know too much?
You're helping their economy go around.
Right. So I mean, right. I don't know.
So I don't see.
But you also don't want to keep people there who don't want to be there because that'll destroy your world.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I've never owned a world.
Neither. 68 billion is a lot of money.
Nah. Think about it. Reality is like we have that same idea here. But there's so many individual factors that play into the happiness of your nation. You know what I mean? Like healthcare. How's he gonna manage all that healthcare? He's like, we got 13 doctors on staff for the city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like because those 13 doctors volunteer their time?
Nah, the city's on the Utopia.
Oh, this utopian.
We don't know how big this shit could be.
68 billion. Okay, if I move the 9.
Carry the 7.
That's about I don't know. A lot of square miles, I have to imagine. A lot of acres. No, square. See? You got to buy where land is cheap because your dollar goes further.
That's why he's doing it in the desert.
Appalachia?
Because there is no like, how much do you think the desert is? They're like, no one lives out there.
Yeah.
You can just buy wherever in the desert.
Desert people.
What did you just say?
Desert people live in the desert.
Are you playing with me right now?
Desert people, fool.
Desert people. So what you're saying is in that open Vast.
You're thinking of like
Desert.
an open, like
I'm talking about the desert.
Sahara-looking
people
desert?
going out to like drive their cars because they know nothing's gonna touch.
Yeah,
them.
like salt flats.
That okay, but like desert. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And you're saying there's desert people out there.
Nah, desert people are people that live in the desert.
All right, so
They don't pop out the ground when you try to walk past them.
yeah. Did you watch The Harder They Fall?
Yeah, I watched The Harder They Fall.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
On Netflix?
Loved it. I loved it. It was a great film. It was a great story.
Okay.
And yeah, I like movies. I just thought about it now. I like movies where I can like say, "Oh, that was my favorite character." I like movies with characters.
Okay.
You know, the character-driven stories. Yeah, I like those a lot. And so that's what this was. So I liked it. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, I loved pretty much everyone in the movie. Obviously, in a perfect world, we'll all have our way, but you know, it was a really good movie. I thought Idris did a phenomenal job.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that played Nat Love, I can't remember his name right now.
Yeah.
Regina King, everybody did a good job. It's just like, you know.
Yeah. Look, imagine say you want to say I want to thank these people, right? But say there's only like 6 people, and you get through like 4 of them.
You're like, fuck it.
Well, no, right? That's the part. Because you're like, dang, there's only because you got through 4, there's only 2 left. Those 2, like, that was intentional. You know what I mean? Like when you legit forgot, but you're like, you know, I only got, you know, like everybody else.
But how
forgot.
do they know that you're supposed to thank them?
Say it's a war show. Say you guys all work on a project. Like I want to thank Mike, Jack, Sarah, John.
I don't think any of them know for
and
a fact
everybody
that
else involved.
No, because they can do some. You know, some people do those. I just like to thank everybody involved and walk off.
That's
So
what I'm saying.
Like Jack, Sarah, and all them, they don't expect their name to be really called on the thing.
Look what I'm getting at. If you're up there and still was 6 of you, that's only 4 more
I see
people.
what you're saying, and 4 of them do get called.
Yeah, and there's like
You're
2
like,
more, and
yeah,
you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
we all spent the same amount of time in that room.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, maybe it was. I'm saying maybe it was a brain fart and they literally forgot you.
Nah.
But like you gonna tell you no, you can't. There's no way you can explain them. I swear to you, I forgot. I swear, man, I forgot. It's like how you forget?
Yeah, no. Because you could. I feel like you are having a flashback to everybody in the room that was important.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
And you're just like, you stop. You like,
yeah, it's a funny moment. That's why, yeah, you're better off just saying, I just want to thank
everybody involved.
I want to thank God.
Okay.
God, first and foremost.
All right.
I want to thank the man upstairs. It all wouldn't be possible without you.
All right.
Next, I want to thank my moms.
All right, Sonny. So do you think that it's going to get any awards?
Lakeith?
What?
He might get one for that movie.
Sonny, stop playing. No, he's not.
All right, well.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful either. You said it, and I just have to just make it very clear that that's not happening.
Why wouldn't that happen? You think, because he was outperformed by Idris Elba, Regina King, and everybody else?
Not even.
Jonathan Majors?
All that, but outperformed. Like, he didn't. Okay, whatever. I don't know.
You're not focused today or what?
No, I'm focused. It's just like, I don't know what to tell you. He didn't do much for me. I mean, he was just him. It's like if we met him right now, he would.
Nah, he was someone special in that movie. He was like. Right, and he said it too, because I was like, dang, I didn't notice something behind his eyes. But I just thought that was just him in the character. But when he described what was wrong with him, I don't know if you read the article, he talked about how that was one of the hardest times for him. He's like, although I looked so good in the movie, that was really challenging. And so he was dealing with, anxiety, maybe some depression. But it's also interesting to think, because I'm like, man, you just don't know what anyone's ever going through. Like mental strains, mental anything. That's what it is. It's mental, right? It's not physical. It's not physical.
Yeah.
So it's wild when it's just wild, man.
All right, so.
Yep. All right, what song can you probably recite the most lyrics to consecutive?
Oh man, probably. I don't want to say that name out loud.
Come on. Why wouldn't you want to say an artist's name? Because it's someone that you know?
No.
Is it someone that you've met before? No. So tell me the song.
Probably Nipsey Hussle.
What song?
What song?
I asked you what song do you think you can recite?
I was just thinking, like off cuff, like I don't know. Maybe Right Hand to God.
Oh, okay, give me some.
See? And this is why I was thinking so hard because I said, what if he asked me to do it? And I'm going to say, I have to make sure I know it.
All right, what you
Playing
got?
with me, man.
Come on. I put my right hand to God.
Shine on these broads. I stay on my job. I don't know. Anyways, what's the song you think you can recite?
Well, off camera, I was reciting Outkast Bombs Over Baghdad. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Islam International Thunder Pound when I stomp the ground. Ooh. Like a million elephants and silverback orangutans, you can't stop the train. Who wants some? Don't come unprepared. I'll be there, but when I leave there, better be a household name. Cause weatherman telling us it ain't gonna rain. So now we sitting in the drop top soaking wet, in a silk suit trying not to sweat. Hit some sauce without the net, but this will be the year that we won't forget. 1999. I know that one pretty well. You name it, man. I could probably rap it.
Very confident there.
Give me one.
Jay-Z, Big Pimpin'.
Without the chorus, right?
At least 4. Wait, how are you gonna fall asleep and change your mind? That was
Don't put that pressure on me.
So no, okay. Let me do it. Okay, how about Toby Iwigwe?
I don't thug 'em, love 'em, all that. I know it. Toby?
Toby.
Oh, I'm pretty good with those. All right.
Fire.
Look, if your Messiah ain't melanated, your sight skewed. Light cues, when I'm on stage and get the right views of a god MC, me, toe chuku, spit sick, drip like Uncle Soup, no foo-foo, flow cuckoo, stay on toes, no tutu. For every demon bringing juju, I bring a thoo-thoo and shoot through your noggin. Only option is your hemoglobin popping. Something like that.
Something like that. Okay.
Another one?
No. Do you have any black facts this week?
A black fact? Just so happened to. Yeah, I did a little dive into. It's funny you asked me that. I did a little dive into the history of quote black names.
Okay.
Like your top.
I don't know if you want to re-say that.
All right, let's just restart this one. All right, so yeah, I was looking into the history of of black names. You know, like what your stereotypical black name might be. Example?
No, I was just.
Okay.
No.
And so what I kind of came across was it's been looked into. And so it's been thought that black names were kind of started during the civil rights era to kind of show empowerment and show cultural strength. So, you know what I mean? To kind of create that separation in a way.
Okay.
And so because they thought that because at the time of that study, the records only dated back up to 1960. Right, which is that era, and so meaning like birth certificates and stuff like that, or the records that they were looking for. But then recently they started like digitizing old slave manifestos and like basically like the list of people that were on ships and stuff like that. Right, so they dated it pretty far back to the 1800s, 1600s, and what they found is that even back then a lot of black people were named biblical names like Isaiah. Abraham, Elijah, right? And so names like that. And so that kind of then transitioned into like the 1600s or the 1900s, where you started getting a lot of Bookers. Booker was a name that 90% of the people that had the name Booker were black. That's kind of like, it was like basically like slaves, even when, you know, slaves were brought over, when they got to America is when they started using all this kind of similar names to each other. You know, different names. I'm saying right now we're kind of phasing out of even that right now. But they're saying, yeah, then you got to like
now we're all starting to blend our names.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. Because the difference was black people were culturally trying to be separate, be different, be their own. And so, like you were saying, yeah, as races all begin to just mix, you get less of those names.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I found it to be pretty interesting.
That's very interesting. You always have interesting facts. I can appreciate it. Cool.
Yeah.
You know, I always listen and try to find did Gregory stuff and whatever. But when I was listening to it, he was talking about how, which I didn't know, he was talking about how like the hurricane routes were in the same locations and along the same routes in the Middle Passage. Is that what it's called?
The Middle Passage? I don't know.
You know,
what that
like
is.
where they used to. I think it's called the Middle Passage, but like we're, you know, what I'm saying, like our ancestors lost our lives along that route, right?
Oh, okay.
That's the same route that hurricanes take.
Oh, hurricanes.
Like, you know, Hurricane Ida or Katrina or whatever. Like they go along the same exact route that our brothers and sisters like were pretty much murdered on, you know.
Brothers and sisters,
in
and not our
sea,
aunts and
on
uncles.
sea. I mean, brothers and sisters, ancestors,
Grandparents. Yeah.
grandparents, everybody. Like, I mean,
Yeah, that's real shit.
yeah, it all starts there though. But
That's energy.
that's energy.
Yeah. It's
And
like
I was like, whoa. And there was a map and everything. Like, it was just like, whoa.
sounds like some Moana nonsense.
Okay. But I just thought that was an interesting fact that people should look into. Like,
No, it is interesting.
that makes me like believe deeper than I already do about like spirits and things like that. And like, because I'm a spiritual person, I'm not a
powerful, yeah.
religious person. Like, I don't
Fair.
need to.
Yeah.
That's a whole racial thing that I don't even want to get into. It's like, you know, let's talk about black church and white church. Like, why is church so segregated? Because it's all about race. But anyways, that's a whole deeper conversation.
Did I ever ask you what mistakes you've made that turned into like either a blessing or a nice lesson for you?
Mistakes I've made that turn into a blessing or something like that.
Or just a lesson learned?
Or a lesson learned. Man, I don't know. I believe everything happens for a reason, so I don't know about mistake.
Well, that's why I said that turned. It was looked at as maybe a mistake, but it turned out to be something that was really beneficial. All right, so for me then.
Okay, yeah.
So like, back when I first got rolling, when I first got started my business, I got a project. Disney contacted me to do a project for them. And so I went to the offices, and they wanted me to build this like this big closet book shelving unit along one of their walls, and it was between this wall and it had to end right here. So I went there, took a measurement. But when I took the measurement, like this when I first, that was like one of my first jobs going out there on site, right? So I was trying to like stand on one end and reach the tape measure because it was long, so the tape measure had extended out. But they also kind of had some stuff on the floor, so I couldn't get like an accurate measurement, and so I kind of guesstimated what it was. Right? And I was like, oh, shit, it looks like it's like 6 feet. Meaning, no, like on the tape measure. No, okay, let me describe, right? So when I extended the length I needed to go, and I'm looking where I have it, I can see it's 6 feet, but like a little more but there's like some extra. And so I was like, oh, I was like, yeah, it's like 6 feet. 6 feet will be fine. Right, like I said, mistake that turned that mistake. So then I go to the shop, I build it, and when I come to deliver it, mind you, I use really expensive wood, and I use a lot. It was an expensive project, and so I only measured once, and then I went. But as I was building it, I was thinking the entire time, like, dang, I hope I got this measurement. Dang, I hope I got this measurement. Dang, I hope I got this measurement. I was like, why don't I just go and measure it? But I was like, no, then they think I don't know what I'm doing if I have to go back. So I never even attempted to like get a good measurement. And then so I was like, oh well, delivery day. Who went with me? Oh, it was Michael Olivier. Okay. All right, so I went there and then delivered it, and it was like a foot shorter than it needed to be. And then so the dude was like, oh, like what happened? And I was like, oh, well, I thought it was actually going to be too big, so I reduced the size. And he's like, what? Why didn't you just ask me? And I was like, I was like, and I got defensive. I was like, this is what you wanted? I was like, this is what you wanted? He's like, no, like it doesn't reach the wall. We need that entire space because we need to fit this much clothes. And like, you know, we talked about it. I was like, well, if you want me to redo it, that's going to cost you. He's like, what? He's like, you made the mistake. He's like, what? Mind you, this is taking place in the middle of a quiet office. And so there's nothing but cubicles and everybody hearing this conversation. And he's like, no, I can't. I'm not going to give you more money. You messed up. And I was just like, damn. All right. So then I had to like slowly roll this goddamn thing down this hallway. No one's saying anything. Because I know they waiting for me to leave the building so they can just talk their shit. And so I'm slowly just rolling this thing down the hallway, get in the elevator here, boom, and I get in and just disappear. I was like, damn, he was right. And then so I was irritated though, so I went back to my shop and like I didn't buy more material, so I just like ripped off one side and cut stuff basically shorter, and it's like glued it back on. And then so you can see the marking of where I ripped it, where I like removed the old holes. And then I delivered it back to him. So like a week or so later, he's like, "Oh, what happened? What's this?" And I was like, "This is what you." I said, "This is what you wanted. This is what you wanted." And then he was like, "Oh," and then he wrote me a check, and I got up out of there.
Yo, he sent that shit to the dumpster.
Oh man, let me tell you.
Oh my god.
But no, I got a photo of it like after it was being used. It looked really good.
That's funny, Sonny.
But like that the lesson was always get accurate measurements. Doesn't matter if you like take your time and measure things twice, 3 times if you need to. And so I had to go through that. They ain't never called me back. No more jobs from them. But what is what it is.
That's funny.
It is what it is.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's a funny story. I didn't expect it to be that funny.
Man.
Well, I'm glad you learned a lesson.
For sure.
Again, I don't know if I don't know mistakes that turn into blessings and lessons.
I mean, basically, like, have you ever learned a lesson?
Yeah, but I just like, I learn lessons all the time. I learn lessons on a daily basis.
Are you someone that like takes it, meaning like you can tell someone something and they still got to do it themselves to learn not to do it? Or is someone, someone can say, hey man, I probably wouldn't do that, and you probably wouldn't do that? I mean, do you take advice from others, or do you kind of just have to do it on
I
your
take advice
own?
from others for sure, but I also don't like let people make decisions for me.
Yeah, no. Just kind of put it out there. They put it out there and let you soak it in if you want.
Yeah, for sure. I'll take it. I'll It also depends on who's talking. 'Cause some people don't. Like, it's kind of like I always think back to the Jay-Z thing where he was like, I said I was going to do this, and my uncle was like, nah, man, you can't do that. He was like, people are going to tell you, like, which they can't do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're going to set their limitations on you.
Based off of
where they are and what they've achieved.
No, that's real.
So, like, sometimes I don't really like.
Yeah, and it's hard to get advice from someone who's never gone through this, what you're trying to go through.
Yeah. But a lot of lessons I have learned are typically in, like, dealing with, like, communication, relationship kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, finding boundaries and things like that.
Well, let me ask this question. When you started, like, when you tried to launch some hats a while ago, like, why did you discontinue doing that?
Because financially it was just hard.
Okay. What was hard? Explain to me. I don't know.
Oh, like, it was expensive. Not expensive, but it was like, it was expensive. Kind of. Because I couldn't find anyone to embroider it with yarn cheap enough. So when I made that lot of hats.
To match your selling for what you wanted to sell it for?
Yeah, like I could buy hats for like $2, right? And 35 cents or something like that, or 15 cents. But then when I went to take it, get embroidered, with like whatever I wanted on it, it would cost me money, and I couldn't find a place that was like, I don't know, cheap enough for me at the time for what I was making or whatever I was able to spend on it. I just kind of was like, oh, and then it was kind of like I always knew I would use that reference for when I needed to like do hats for this type of stuff or like make apparel for the culture menu. So I never felt like I stopped doing hats. I just felt like I'm not doing them right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What was it? Positive vibrations.
That's what it said. Yeah, I was just gonna do a whole bunch of
but
Marley
fax
songs.
caps.
Fax caps. Yeah, they were gonna be like
fax caps. Yeah, it was a good concept. It is a good concept. Well, it's still yours.
I guess.
Culture menu fax caps.
Okay. Oh, black fax caps.
I'm gonna have to cap your black fax.
Okay.
Man, I've been trying to exercise a little bit more.
Oh, really? What's that look like?
Well, I've been riding the Peloton. I've been trying to do like 5 days a week, but I did 3 last week, 3 days a week.
Okay.
Yeah, that's been good. It's been good, like mentally good. You just kind of hop off that motherfucker, like, yeah. Sorry, bleep me out on that one.
Nope. Nope, I'm not.
But yeah, it's good. It's good. Mentally, it's good. It's like it's a push. It's a push. It's a push. It's a push. And I just try to like lift a little couple weights right after that.
Okay.
And so it's a little night routine. I try to get done within an hour.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, it actually helps me because if I know if I have to do it within this hour, it helps me get it done. You know what I mean? Kind of if you, I know blocking. I actually having a schedule does make things easier. But for me, exercising right now, if I block it in like between the 8 and 9 hour.
Do you feel like you're more energized, or do you feel it changing or doing anything for you?
Yeah, like I said, mentally, mentally I feel good.
Okay.
And so, I mean, I always feel good mentally, really, but it's a nice little pump.
Not so like clouded or something.
Yeah, it's like it's a way for me to like exude unneeded energy. You know what I mean? Like it keeps stress levels down from, like it just kind of like it exhausts energy. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
And so that's been good. I'm trying to keep a routine with that. The baby's doing awesome.
Okay.
Baby Phoenix. Yeah, she's good. Just glad things are great.
Yeah, me too. Life's good.
Life's good.
Lots happening.
All right.
It's been another episode of the Culture Menu Podcast, episode 36, with your favorite co-host, Chelsea.
Lasani.
Why do you always look at me like that? Why do you always look at me like, did I do it? Did I say it right?
Because I can't tell. Because you said co-host. You said you're the co-host.
Oh, I'm the host and you're the co-host?
Basically, yeah.
Oh, I thought co-host meant like two of y'all did it.
Yeah, but like co-hosts. You're the host, I'm the co-host.
Okay. With your host, Chelsea.
Like, those motorcycles and then they have the little sidecar? You're driving the motorcycle and I'm the little sidecar.
With your host, Chelsea.
And Lasani.
Well, you have to say co-host.
Nah, man, look, just say host. Just say your host. You're not gonna say co-host. Just say just say host with an S.
No. If I'm the host and you're the co-host, then we're gonna address it as such.
For sure.
You just made me redo this
I
whole
just
thing.
thought about it again.
I tried to co you.
I thought about it again. Let's just not have no co nothing. We're just both hosts.
Nah.
All right, well, co-host here.
Nah.
Well, co-host out. How about that? Let me sing us out the episode.